Hello everyone, this is Will from Scooteretti. Today we're going to show you how to remove the rear wheel off an internal hub that is equipped with the Enviolo system and belt drive. It's really super easy. There's nothing complicated about it. It's something you can even do at home. So let me walk you through the steps on how to do that. So first of all, with the Enviolo system, there is a quick release bracket here. What we want to do is we want to bring it up a little bit higher to gain better accessibility. By doing so, all you have to do is rotate the shifter up on the handlebars. You'll notice that this clip moved upwards. So all you have to do now is simply just flip this down. You're going to pull out so that it's loose, like so. You're going to notice that there's a secondary one right here. So you can choose a couple different things. You can choose either a 2mm hex key or a small pick. You'll be able to simply put that into this little clip, pull back, and you notice that the second cable is now removed. Now, the next step after this is to go ahead and undo or loosen the 15mm nuts on the drive side as well as on the non-drive side. So in this case, I'm actually going to bring down the kickstand to give me a little bit more clearance. I'm going to insert my ratchet on here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen the first bolt partially. Then I'm going to come to the other side. Going to loosen that bolt. And now I'm going to start, because the bike is actually in the air, I'm actually going to hold the wheel because I don't want this to drop to the ground. Now if you're closer to the ground, it's not such a big deal. But when you're a foot or two or three or more up in the air, you want to make sure that the wheel doesn't drop out. Okay, so now I am fairly loose. I'm going to put my tool aside, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently wiggle this wheel. And you'll notice now that the rear wheel has come out of its holder. And now the wheel is completely removed. Now if you have a flat or you want to replace your tires because you've worn it out, it's the same steps as you would do as if you were to buy or to repair a new tire or inner tube. To put it back in is really super easy. You just simply do the reverse. All right, to reinstall your wheel is really easy. The first thing I recommend doing is grabbing a piece of masking tape or electrical tape and just taking your two cables, bring them off to the side, and just put a piece of tape on there. And this is just temporary. And what this is going to do is it's simply just going to keep the cables out of your way when you're actually reinstalling the wheel. Now, one thing we're going to do is when we reinstall the wheel, we want to make sure that this portion is facing forward and then that your positioning where you're going to put your cables are facing towards the rear of the bicycle. You will notice that we have the washers with a little slot. So those are going to be facing downwards. Going to open this up as wide as we can. And now we're going to go ahead and gently place the belt back onto the sprocket. It takes 2 seconds. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lift the wheel up into position, like so. Okay. We're going to hand tighten the nuts, like so. We want to make sure that's quite snug. And then with the wheel in the upright position, we're going to take our ratchet and we're going to go ahead and tighten these bolts down. Okay, now you want to make sure that you're even, okay, because it's really, really important, or else your wheel is not going to ride properly in the bike. So this has to come all the way to the top so the wheel is sitting properly in position. Next step we're going to do is we're going to take off our masking tape. We can throw that away. Our cable with the longer clip will go towards the bottom. And our cable with the little clip will go towards the top. You have to make sure this cable here goes through the cable mount right here. So this is the support. So a cable will go inside there, like so. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull that little cable upwards. We're going to lock it back into position here. Okay. And then I'm going to go back towards the bottom cable. I'm going to snug that up, like so. And I'm going to install it. Now, one thing we're going to go back to these nuts. We want to make sure they are tight. Okay, so if you don't have access to a torque wrench, what you're going to do is grab your ratchet and tighten that down. Spin your wheel and you're good to go. Thanks for watching.